Tell me you'll know tomorrow. Don't be too emotional until then. And I know that's what Ra is. Izina panicked and turned her hands down. Can't. Master Liu Feng. These glassware are too expensive. Money to reward my eyes. It's only 1,000 yuans. The exile rushed to reassure Izina, who was refusing. Izina, listen to me. The value of these items, as far as I can tell, compared to your safety, it's not worth mentioning. Save the aesthetic in the head. The archers can't leave you. Then you say more. I was going to sell these things too. If you can just sell the money, you just traded your safety. It's a double-shot arrow. Listen to the words of Liu Feng. Izina round eyes feel very touched. He pretended to size 7. If you don't want to, I'm useless. People also added to the advice Izina. Mina's right, Izina. Master has been working a lot these days. Ellie encouraged not to worry anymore. And even though these things are worth the money. But our city is not small. Izina heard people worry for themselves. He was moved and bowed his head. You're all right. You don't have to talk. I agree. Everyone's excited. Mina turned to Izina. Quickly learn the words on it. Ellie also agreed to add it right. We'll be on stage later. Izina laughed softly and replied. I'm going to memorize it right now. Master Liu Feng. Izina closed her eyes and turned her face and said to the bandit. People are so good. I like to take bad detours. He was surprised by Izina's angry attitude. Surprised to say, what do you mean? Izina laughed mysteriously and said, guess what? On the stage at this time, Dejina introduced Theo. You're next up for the third auction. This auction is a little special. I need to replace another host. It's been a while since we got to the 31st product. The guests below had a surprise. Talking about hunting dogs, say that? Change the auctioneer, but also balance the ladder. Pink tomorrow is sad to say. I can't buy water. I had no spirit. Pay attention to other things. Hoo. People down there are still talking. See what you want to sell next. It's so special. Maybe the Atlantic is still untouched. Sao Izina confidently walked out and said, Guys, I'm Izina. I'm a spirit. I have another name. It's love. There's a question about who an organic lymphoma is. There is a loud voice. Oh my God, that's love again. It's the spirit. This led to the death of a Grand Duke. The name of love is like lightning, fighting with some people. The loud voices coming down the hall. What she is a spirit. It made the capital no longer safe. A few years ago, Sao, it's her. It's love. Was offered a reward of 1,000 yuans. What is this girl going to do? All the halls have their heads up. Look at the girl in front of you. The guy with the hound scarf calmed down. Calm down and watch first. I hope nothing happens out of the blue. Izina looked at the crowd below and said, You'll be very curious. Why did I stand out and declare myself? Why was I offered a 1,000 yuan's reward? Because we've got some news. Worth thousands of treasures. Another disturbing piece of information. Underneath people talking loudly, something worth thousands of dollars. Someone said, it is also true that the reward of thousands of gold is also true. Izina continues. These treasures have been taken into my hands today. Aegina swivel in front of the mysterious big barrel. About Theo, today I will take the treasure out of the original price. The nobles below soared up. Hurry and get it out. What kind of treasure is worth thousands of dollars? The big box is opened, and everybody's on top of it. There's too much glass. It's a treasure, of course. Aegina sets glass items on the table. Immediately below everyone competing for the price. I paid 2,000 yuans, 5,000 yuans, 1,000 yuan. Behind the curtain, just follow. Ellie had just happily told the exile. We did it. Satisfied, of course. He turned around and had to tell Ellie. Write this in the newspaper tomorrow. Must propagate very loudly. Yes, master. Two angry bounty hunters say. This news just came out. The prize money. I will not continue to reward you. I am also hateful. We wasted our time this time. The two men left the auction with a sigh. It was late at the end of the auction. Under the moon's glow. The government appears magnificent. There is a party in the government. The auction was a great success. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations on a successful auction. Empty glass of wine waves VA together jingle. Make more fun sounds for the party. In the dining room, people are eating happily friendly. On a table full of colorful dishes. Surely the person who prepared these dishes. No one other than Nicola. Ellie stood up and made a speech. People, listen to me. Do you know? The auction this time. How much money do we make? People are surprised at how much they ask. How much we don't know. I just chewed bread and rolled my eyes. Pounding a glass of red wine on the table. Lady Dazina replied 13,000 gold, right? Ellie was surprised that Dazina had said the exact number. Surprised to say you know. I think I'm the only one who knows. Bavina laughed back. Even if it's SAO, I'm hosting the auction. It's normal to remember these numbers. You are that merchant. Ellie is not happy to talk obnoxiously and is going to show off. Nicola heard the giant number. My mouth is so full of wonder. The attitude of satisfaction is temporary. Plus 10,000 gold that Dejina earned for us in the royal capital. We've got over 20,000 gold already. It is also considered. He used a knife to cut a piece of beef. Feverish dream, Ellie raised her hand and said excitedly. I hope a big boat has 50 gold. Until then, we're filling up the boat at the Atlantic Wharf. It doesn't matter anymore. Stand up the ambition to continue. Now the Atlantic. We've got a lot of money. We've got a huge amount of human resources to feed the refugees. It's time to grow the Atlantic once again. Liu Feng, finished. Lady Dejina back foursome. What new attention will there be after the storm? Ellie asked the exile what we should do now. Put up 3 fingers and say next. We have 3 main options. The first is to use structures outside the city. Completion of the Atlantic City Tap Water Project through foreign countries. The second is to develop the mountainous region of the outer Atlantic. There's a lot of resources there. Must take advantage of development exploitation, enhance exchanges. Trade with the tribes of the steppe. Later, our population in the Atlantic will grow very quickly to ensure some of the necessary necessities. I just finished listening to the plan. Kelly wondered what that tap water was. Landfill ventilation is a form of irrigation. Just finished. Then later, we'll have a lot of water in our homes to use. You don't have to arrange people. carrying water every day. Dejina seemed unhappy, sighing. There is no new cooperation. Cooperate with our trade association, SAO. Smiling, he replied yes. That's a long-term calculation. I'll talk to you in more detail later. Save the wind and pick up the wine glass. The main thing tonight is congratulations. Let's all raise the glass of wine. Liu Feng said it. For the long-term prosperity of the Atlantic City. Let's drink up, everyone. The party's over. It's past midnight. In the dining room, Nicola was cleaning dishes. Okay, let's pack up. Ellie holding the bread to the tray, said Nicola too. Give me some food again. Her voice was loud. Igina standing in a corner, holding a glass of wine. Dojina Lai almost said, oh. This Atlantic wine is great. I haven't drunk such good wine in a long time. That's right. Igina hasn't asked you yet. She wants to go later. Izina bowed her face and said she won't go for a while. Heard Igina say it was temporary. Izina thought everything was fine and said it was temporary. You still want to go later. Look at the people sitting at the table. Irina said slowly. Your plan to stay in the room can only be temporary. Lure the bounty hunters. That day it was clear that it was just a postponement. Just bounty hunters. Bonus has not been cancelled. Then I'm sure you'll come back. But we have to leave. It's a bit of a stretch. It's strange, last time I had that feeling. It's time to leave home. After hearing what Igina said, Dojina asked. You can't leave the Atlantic. Or not willing to leave the wind. Igina bowed her head, and I don't know. But I do know that Fong has thought a lot. And do a lot for me. Suddenly, we have a sense of security. Dejina suddenly asked for peace of mind. Maybe it's not the feeling you felt. Excited. I can't help it, you want to get into the enemy's heart. Facial Garina excitedly rushed to ask. Which of your eyes saw that? Agina was afraid to answer. Izina book handle. Glasses become serious. That's what Lucy's book says. Izina heard, so mean to smoke head. Her face still red with embarrassment, Igina replied. Talk about Lucy. She doesn't know what happened to her in the capital. Izina agreed, yes. At the same time, at the Grand Prince's residence in the kingdom of Berth Alayan, the lights are still on. The prince was sitting at the dinner table. But the dark anger asked. Still haven't found Sao. The subordinate below was kneeling and reporting. Press the prince. There's the protection of the cunning player. It's very difficult to find their whereabouts. The prince slammed his glass of wine on the table and said, Yes. I have despised it. I can't believe I gave up my princess status. To run away from the king. Down command. In the school of nobles living in the royal capital. Now that boy and I are fighting for the crown. I don't expect anyone else to join that boy. Also, I can't wait to see who comes in contact with that bastard. Not sure, the subordinate immediately shouted. The servant left. The prince turned to the window. Look at the darkness outside. Suddenly, a voice spoke. Has the prince been okay lately? The king turned his head and looked at me. Then you guys show up. There's nothing good about it. A mysterious person-infested towel appeared. Said the wretched smile. Or I thought. The king of death will be looking forward to seeing us. The cold prince said. If you don't come for the money, I'd love to see you. Tell me the inside story. Last time I asked for $1,000. The noble wanted to betray again. I want 2,000 gold. How much do you want to sell this time? The Kier name replied, "Your Highness, I don't need any money this time." "You don't need money later. I'm here to talk about cooperation on behalf of the Cardinal." "Prince, oh, an hour?" The man dropped his hood and said, "Let me introduce myself. I'm 3 deacons of the gods." I heard him introduce it like that. The prince thought in his head, He's not a servant next to his father Sao. Maybe not. And then answer the question, what is that? The man slowly explained. The Holy Father is an organization that worships God. Lomit invention for God. Our values. It's the pursuit of client grace. Let us go to heaven. To live forever without dying. From now on, we will help your majesty. Sit on the throne. You just have to sit on the throne. Later, when the whole country was unified, let's build a church in every city. Used to spread the blessings of clients. Okay, the ambitious Kier said. The king raised his eyebrows in surprise. So simple, Sao. The white-haired man looked up and said it was that simple. His face carries many meanings. The next morning against the blue sky, white clouds, yellow sun, a pure white pigeon flying low fence. Above the black water, to bring letters from the Atlantic City. Some feathers fall down. As the name implies, everything is dark. The houses are floating on the water. It also became a black water. 5 people holding a letter. Just been brought by the pigeon. Said in the letter. The owner is going to be a black man today. The owner of the Black Sea came behind. Maybe we can catch up. He looked at the pigeon sitting on his shoulder, like a hat. I looked at the letter and thought this was the postman pigeon. There's a lot of new toys in Atlantic City. Then he went up and asked, "That's right, mister. How's my daughter doing in Atlantic City?" The owner asked his daughter Han. Taurus 5 happily replied, "Miss San is learning to handle state management in the Atlantic City. Be assured that Miss San lives very well." The owner is afraid to say no. It's not what I mean. Between my daughter and the exile owner, nothing happened. How can anything happen? 5 responses. Miss Saizen always goes follow you study topic. Lately, you can do some important work alone. As a pen owner, you want to know these things later. Even if you don't want to know. But the owner is reluctant. That's right, owner. Blackwater can't hear what you want to know. The handle becomes the aesthetic power of girls. You have to be as good as God. If you don't hold on tight, it's easy for others to steal it. This old man is ambitious. The land ahead moves to the sound of a pony. Dust bag flying blind. As 5 tells people. The beast tribe is here to welcome you. The horse stopped for an hour. The horses are waiting, and they seem to have stopped. The leader girl's voice is loud. Stationed in place. A proceduralist behind, said Princess. We don't go into Sao. Mayor of Animal Protection. LAN rolls back to shout, "Shut up. It's just a year, son." The princess suffered. Being here in person is a huge concession. Humans are sinister and very cunning. If the princess enters the city, whatever happens, who's responsible? LAN rolls seriously though, my time is not here. What kind of work do riders need guards for? Let the people into the tribe. As if people have bad intentions. The princess is in danger. The princess of the beast order. Just stay alert as usual. It doesn't have to be too much to take revenge. If the owner of the Atlantic City agreed, actively come to find us, demonstrate a willingness to cooperate. It shouldn't. It makes the relationship between the 2 sides tense. Today, no matter what the outcome. Then at least we can't make the enemy hate us. Don't call me a princess in a minute. Let's call Unity the leader. Lan thought in my head. How big a business a baron could have. The princess is too easy to negotiate. But the mouth says yes. Lan rules, continued the leader. Or let me send a squadron of knights over there. Go ahead with the enemy. At that time, it is also convenient to establish homeowner advantage when cooperation offers more than favorable conditions. Hearing the opinion of Lan rules is also reasonable. The princess agreed to remember not to be too harsh. Then remember everyone on top there. Come to the party tonight. See how they mean it. Lan rules are approved, excited comments clear. Lan rules lead according to the group of animals. More than 10 people, let me go. The horse stopped for a moment and then cracked again. Gross, gross, gross. As Niu saw it, he said, Here, they're divided into a death squad over here. I have no intention of slowing down. The owner worries about them. What do they want to do? The old master anxiously grasped the hand of Taurus 5, said, Uncle Taurus 5, or can we just walk away for now or not? Like 5 definitely answer, cannot be. Don't take a step back. If I were standing here, that's for the Atlantic City for the owner. How can you lose your boss's face? I just finished the 5 turnover. Give orders to everyone. The soldiers of the Atlantic take orders, not backwards, all in a loud voice. On this side, Lan's eyes are cold. Give orders to the beastmen, platoon behind. The knights listen to my orders. If you can't stop, you can't stop. Platoon animal Lao horse, towards the gates of the Blackwater, where the 5 Taurus and the owner are standing. From a team of animals approaching, Lan rules and Taurus 5 eyes we touch. Not very sympathetic. It was cold for an hour. Stop the horse in front of 5. The horse is about to hit you in the face. But the 5-year-old didn't take half a step back. The 5-year-old is not moving. Lan rules praise the liver is also loud. I can't believe people are so hard. Tao 5 modestly calmly replied. The leader laughed. I'm just one of the regular soldiers. In the Atlantic City. The boss is coming soon. Do you want to rest in the bar? The animal guard replied. I'm not the leader. We're stationed outside the city. I won't bother you. Your boss also has a lot of blood on his face. Dare to let our leader live. Something came up that made the animals in the back talk. There's something coming. What is it? A loud noise moved in. A very large ship has just docked. The surprised animals shouted, That's a boat. Why did you have such a big boat? Liu Feng's big boat towered over the river. The sails spread wide. The squatters stepped onto the shore. Mayor of Animal Protection, I see the storm ahead. And then there was a group of people who were surprised. That's the animal. How can animals go with humans? See the owner coming. Bull 5 put his hands on his chest and bowed to the boss. When you arrive, the owner of the Black Sea also greets you. Master Bar, you're here. Out of the crowd. Si Jiang also follow the happy sowing. I saw my daughter come back. Become the owner of the Blackwater aesthetic space. I'm back. She's already made it to the rafters. Smiling softly, he said sorry. Missed some time on the way. I sat on the horse thinking. Wearing body armor. These people also have a strong temperament. I'm afraid there's only the royal guard. The animals we can talk about. Not right, not right. Can we have an army on par with ours? Even among the riders who sent the medicine, the bodyguard is also the strongest. Nothing so good. Lan rules just shook his head to dispel the wrong thought. Get out. Looking at the young man with extraordinary temperament, Lan said, The owner of the Atlantic, right? She looked at the strong girl sitting on the horse and asked her. Like 5 wives answering uncle. She's from the tribe. The animals are coming to meet us. Kui Lan is now self-referred to as Kui Lan, the mayor of the leader's guard. Leader, we're inviting you to the party tonight. The location is a barracks outside the Blackwater. If you are afraid, you can refuse. I saw the girl's disdain first. Mina's face spoke, and he mastered her attitude. Don't worry about interrupting. In front of the Lan, Liu Feng said, please pass the word to your leader. I promise I'll be there on time. Lan Kui can answer. We are waiting for your presence tonight. Withdraw words. Lan led the beast man squad back to the princess. I looked at the figure of the pink girl and said, invite people to eat and have this attitude. She thought we really wanted to go. The food on the boat is better. Many of her things are cooked. Mina told the owner. You shouldn't have agreed so easily at the party. If the enemy holds a grudge, then we'll be very dangerous and passive. The wind has been silent thinking turned to speak. Animals are very sensitive. People live and treat people well. It's been a long time in the Atlantic. But other animals, there's still the same human vigilance. We agreed to go to their place to eat. It's also to show our intentions. This is also useful for future cooperation. The old master of the Black Sea spoke. The road owner is tired. Or go to the city to rest first. He told me to bother the pen owner. Peter hurriedly said, don't mind. Then he turned to Sion. Miss Sion came to the dinner party a long time ago. It's hard to get back on a trip. Or go see your father more. I'll call you if anything happens. Titan is happy to thank you for being the boss. Lord Spencer heard that, tears in his eyes. She's stupid. An old man like you isn't worth seeing. Come on, follow me. Make Taurus 5 stand watching follow him behind confusing. When the night falls. The wind and everyone was there. At the headquarters of the animal tribe. Invite them to visit the camp. The bottom of my mouth is gaping and bewildered. Rina still had cold eyes. I can't believe people dare to come. You look down on everyone. Follow me, the leader has arranged the party. The customer replied, disturbing. Flow conduction wind. Mina and I went into the banquet hall. They quickly took their place. When it's all over, leader Elsa speaks. Dear guests, please don't be rude. Everyone can enjoy the food. On the table, a glimpse of the table is quite simple. There are 3 main steaks that are still hot. There's some raw vegetables on the side of the burnt pork, along with a giant chicken thigh, and a glass of aged banana wine. It is only for guests. He looked at the food on the table and was bored. You think. There's basically nothing that can eat a piece of pork like that. Probably not ripe inside. Tiny quick jump with huge cock thighs. Take a bite. Oh Chu-Choa plating. She frowned and whispered to Mina. This meat is hard to swallow. The leader was surprised to ask why. Why don't you move food chopsticks that don't suit your taste? I was startled to respond to this. Meanwhile, the rule is to hold the chicken's thigh and devour it. Interrupt save Fong. As he continued to look, the Baron reproached him. Did we cook the animal's food? Leader Urza crossed his arms. He showed an unbearable face. Rules are not disrespectful. The wind gave a smile to dispel the gourd. This shy air. Gina says it's not a food issue. The food at the party was so hearty. It's just that we're sailing. It's a little seasick, so it's hard to swallow for a while. I feel guilty, so keep talking. That I helped the leader's heart. To thank the leader for his hospitality. I'd like to invite the leader on board tomorrow. Have lunch together. How does the leader feel? While listening to Liu Feng speak, he also bit a piece of chicken. She looked at the wind with glittering eyes and replied, I'm looking forward to it too. Sei Feng laughed firmly. I will not ignore the leader's expectations. So we've reported before. Anti-regulation hands on chin, sighing. It's a thought. While the dining table of the circulation is clean, there's only 2 cows left. No all. Then Liu Feng's people didn't move their chopsticks. You are angry. They obviously don't respect the animal tribe. After the rest of the crew returned. Dare to speak out loud. These people are not polite. We sincerely invite them to come. They don't even move their chopsticks. The princess is especially conscious. The precious food of the Ra tribe is waiting for them. Princess Aya's bodyguard. I agree with Q Liu's statement. That's right. That's right. People have eyes higher than the top of their heads. It's hard to be in general. Princess Ra sighed with a loud voice. Okay, just a few less sentences. The other party's agreement to come to the party proved to be intentional. And about food. I came here and stopped my quiet eyes. You seem to be thinking about something that's hard to say. Maybe it's the food we've prepared. Not to their taste. Really come here. Pictures of the fish jumping curly, and the ocean's waves undulating, the sunlight shining in. They make their bodies shiny. I remember the time I ate those delicious fish.